Suspend your breath. Open mouth, exhale. One more time, inhale. Suspend your breath. Open mouth, exhale. Let's open our eyes, resting our hands onto our knees. If you're sitting on the chair, bring your knees a little further apart. And let's go into the Sufi grind, inhaling and exhaling, closing our eyes, going inward. Reversing the direction. And gently coming to center, bringing the back of our left hand behind us, right hand behind our neck. Straighten your spine, bring your right elbow back. That's your inhalation. Exhalation, right elbow just to your left knee. Inhaling up. Exhale over to the left. Ensure that you get your spine into an erect posture, elbow back. Gently stretch your lower back. Support your lower back with your left hand. And this gives this lower back the sense of being supported. Last one. And then switch hands. Go over to the right. So I'm not bringing my forehead to the knee, just my elbow. Last 3 repetitions. Good. Inhaling up, bringing our left hand in front, right arm overhead. Now we want to inhale to the left. Exhale to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale, center. And this goes into our gallbladder, into our spleen, pancreas. It squeezes our stomach. So I hope you didn't have too much to eat already for breakfast. Reach through your fingertips. Keep your upper arm straight. See that you're not bending it. Last 3. And we'll naturally switch our hands. Inhale over, exhale to center. Keep the opposite sit bone connected to the chair or the ground beneath you. Last 3. Good, and then we bring our fingertips in front, thumb into the back. We want to have the back of our hands touch behind our head. So I'm not bringing my chin down to make this possible. Yeah, so I see that I sit upright. I inhale, the back of my hands touch, my elbows pointing towards the ceiling. Exhale, elbows come all the way down. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Now you go into a strong breath through your nose. Have an emphasis on your exhalation. There are a lot of deposits, yeah, for a lot of us in our shoulders, so we want to break them. That's why it might be that this posture feels a little hard. And we feel something up there. Those are actually calcium deposits. They are hindering the circulation to our brain. So keep up, because nothing really will happen here unless you have a frozen shoulder or a shoulder injury. Then you need to be careful here. Otherwise, you're breaking actually free. Last 10, a little faster. Good. Rest your hands in front or on your knees. Spinal flex. Inhale. Exhale round.
There she is again. Yes, there she is again.
Little more.
Yes, there she is again.
Good. Come to center. Inhale through the nose, exhale, open mouth. Inhale, bring the back of your hands touching over. Exhale to the side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Take your face, your head with you. Look over the shoulder. The last 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Left hand into your lap. Just do left nostril breathing. Close the right nostril with your right thumb. In and exhale through the left. Exhale the next time out of your left nostril. Just let your right hand come towards the left. Tip of your thumbs are touching. Regulate your breath. And then we are ready for you, Namaste.
Thank you, Siddhi. You just move my chair closer. Makes me feel closer to you guys. I'm going to jump into the computer to be close enough. Oh, good morning. July 8th, my goodness. Our time is just moving. So today, so we're approaching this magic found month of August, which we've spoken of in the last several sessions. And I would like to talk a little bit about why we should be investing in who we are. why we should be investing in commitment to our self-growth, and why do we step into the fullness of who we are. And one of the things to explore is the consequences of not stepping in to our own power, our own insight, our own intuition, our own well-being. Why are we not stepping into that? What is happening in our life when we don't take that responsibility? So first of all, we all know this, but as a reminder, no one can gift you power or intuition or insight or well-being. For authentic experiences of these qualities, we have to source an internal place, not an external. We know that. We say that all the time. We understand that true personal power is generated from inside. And yet, we still seem to tether ourselves to external circumstances, to external relationships, to external situations that can move us like the wind. When we do not claim that which is inherently ours, we chip away slowly, we chip away at ourselves and our truth. Can you see that? When we don't claim that which is ours, we are saying on some very subtle level that we're not worthy, that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough or clever enough or patient enough or something, so that we can't actually go out and claim the fullness of who we are. So inadvertently, we assign our joy elsewhere. We assign our joy either to others or to situations or to whatever is happening externally. We assign it. We just turn it over. I can be joyful when. And that when is a moving target. To be really powerful, we have to reclaim that which is ours. And so how do we do that? How do we place our power to be joyful in places that are our internal cavities instead of our external? When we do not tether our joy and our experience of the fullness of who we are to an outside entity or experience, we step into our strength and we're able to ask for forgiveness and to offer forgiveness to others. So if we talk about love as being the cornerstone for how it is we're living out our lives, then forgiveness walks hand in hand with that. We cannot operate out of love if we're not also operating out of forgiveness, both for ourselves and for others. We have to be able to step into asking for forgiveness and also offering forgiveness. And we can do this only when we step outside of fear. Fear is what holds and entraps us into all of the experiences we are having, which limit us. If we have no fear, there's no limitation. There may be concerns, there may be things we have to attend to, but when we're not living in fear, when we have claimed the fullness of who we are, fear does not exist inside of that. Concern might, attentiveness to something that needs our attention might, but fear doesn't. Fear is a contrived emotion, false evidence appearing real, fear. The only time to use fear is when we're in the absolute present moment where there's something clear and present that has to be tended to that could be a danger to us. But most of us aren't living in a situation that is eternally dangerous. And yet we still carry fear. Why? When we show up small, when we show up without having claimed the entirety of ourselves, we place power in the hands of those who are not ready to assume such power. We place power in the hands of those not yet ready to assume such power. This creates discord between ourselves and others. It perpetuates the imbalance in relationships. Being small to make others feel strong creates imbalance. So whatever the reason is of why we're not wanting and we're not feeling capable or worthy or able to reclaim ourselves, it is actually impacting as much of the outside world as it is our internal world. We are not yet able to be whole, but we are also impacting other people's experience. We're empowering them in ways that are unhealthy, and we're disempowering them in ways that are unhealthy. Until we all are willing to claim that which is ours and operate out of the fullness of our capacity, we cannot expect balance in our family, in our community, in our global situation. If each person takes on that which is theirs, not which is someone else's, but which is theirs in both power, responsibility, attitude, all of these places where we aren't stepping fully, we have to explore that. We have to look at what is it that I might be doing that's keeping me from being in the fullness of who I am, which includes my power. It includes my loving kindness. It includes my intellect. It includes all the aspects of me. It's not just one part. I am a kaleidoscope of different feelings and different expressions. Am I claiming all of them? Am I in a rut, just rising to a certain level and never pushing beyond that? So let's talk about some ways in which we can reclaim or step into or harness who we truly are. Because when you meet somebody who has harnessed the fullness of themselves, even in the places where they consider themselves broken, that they've just owned it, you feel a sense of calmness, because that sort of the choppiness of the ocean, when there's something inside of a person that has not been resolved, there's a choppiness. And you feel it when you're with somebody who's actually taken on the mantle of who they truly are, with all of its brilliance and all of its brokenness. There's a sense of calm in them. There's no more agitation. We can accept the pieces that are not exactly where we want to be, and we can work on them. We don't have to push them out of the way or diminish ourselves because we have not yet stepped in. Today is the day you step in. We don't care about the history of where you haven't or where you've been broken or where you didn't or wouldn't or couldn't show up. Today is the day we start showing up for ourselves 100%, because then we show up in the world 100%. We cannot show up in the world 100% if we haven't learned how to show up for ourselves. It's not possible. You can't bring 100% of something you don't know what the 100% is. You have to first own it and own all of the pieces of yourself. Then you step into the world in a way that is actually a contribution, that is actually selfless, that is actually compassionate. Because your compassion grows out of the knowledge that we have brokenness. When we accept and look at our brokenness, we accept and look at other people's brokenness in a different way. It changes the entire way that we see the world. But if we avoid that which is surging through us that we think is unpleasant, and we just push it aside, we also will do the same thing for others. So one of the ways that we start with working on this reclaiming, stepping into, holding, harnessing, is to acknowledge and declare the qualities that we own, our qualities of intuition. These are qualities we have already, ladies. We're going to step into them. Our qualities of intuition, forgiveness, joyfulness, the capabilities of offering solace to others, of creating beauty. Each of you is so creative in so many different ways. You are bringing beauty into the world. We have to claim that. It isn't just like, oh, ho hum, I do this. Claim this as part of your expression into the world. Use positive affirmations to reinforce the truth of yourself. So replacing negative self-talk with positive affirmations. This seems so simple, and it's written everywhere we read about it, but are you actually doing it? Are you actually posting little Post-it notes around that are affirmations of the beauty that's already in you expressing itself, and the beauty that's in you that you wish to express into the world? Negatively speaking about ourselves or thinking about ourselves takes up the space that we would be using to step into our power, our intuition, to reclaim all of the pieces of ourselves. There's not enough room for both. When negativity or unworthiness or regret steps in, it fills the cauldron. It's very hard to hold both. We have to move it out gently. We need to release the thoughts, reframe, and replace the thoughts that we have that are not who we want to be and who we are becoming and who we already are into the world. We need to ask for help. This is, if I have to pick one thing for women, one place where we seem to fall down regularly, it's in asking for help. Ask for help when you need it. Asking for help allows for others to explore their capabilities and the truth of who they are. So you're not only helping yourself, you're helping someone else. This is how we learn who we really are. When somebody asks for our support and we step into that, we learn about our own capabilities, we learn about our own strengths, and we get to serve. And ultimately, love and service are the two ways that we learn how to express the fullness of who we are into the world. So when somebody needs something and you step into it, you get that. I just have like the hair on my arms is going up. You get to step into something that serves and is service to you, but is also in service to them. Asking for help or asking someone to simply listen allows for space that is necessary for your own wisdom to come in. Sometimes all that is really needed is spaciousness in order for us to find our strength. We need enough room to breathe while we figure out what we're going to do. And sometimes having someone simply sit and listen to us while we reframe and we work through what's going on for us in a particular situation allows us the spaciousness to gather our own wits and our own wisdom and our own intuition and our own knowingness. We have to hone that, but sometimes we need support. This is why we have a deep listening circle. This is why we have a space that we can hold one another and allow ourselves to step into our own strength while we're working through what we consider a challenge. Knowing that you need and asking for help, that you both need it and you're asking for it, is a power move. It's not a diminishing move, it's a power move. And as women, we need to step into that. We need to find the places where we can ask for that. This is why we have a Sangha. I can almost guarantee that any situation that's going on in your life, whether it's bodily, emotionally, intellectually, relational, there's someone or many someones in this group who has experienced something similar or is currently experiencing something similar and can hear you with great acceptance and great open-heartedness. You have to ask for that. You have to step in and say, I need to be listened to right now. I need to be held so that I can work through and I can access the fullness of who I am. Practice using an approach and a tone of inquiry in your life, an acceptance of others. When our tone of voice changes, even though we're contributing an opposing idea or thought or possibility, when our tone and our heart is open, there's a receptivity that happens in the relationship. And if we want to own ourselves, it means speaking our truth. But when we speak our truth, we tend to speak it in a way because we're defensive. I shouldn't really be speaking it, so I'm gonna go in all cannons burning. No, we can use a tone of voice and a tone of inquiry that allows us to ask and to participate in a discussion around something that might be heightened. And that's stepping into our power, because now I'm contributing and I'm a part of the dialogue. I didn't step back because I thought it was controversial or a conflict or was going to hurt someone's feelings. I can use truth in a soft way. Speaking with a tone of inquiry and acceptance is very powerful. Speaking and sharing our opinions and our ideas without judgment, it's heard in our voice. When we're not judging, your voice sounds different. Acknowledging our fears. Having a fear is not the problem. The problem is not using our tools to assess the fear and either go with it and figure out what's really going on or drop it. But we need to look at it. Just walking around fearful is not helpful. Whatever the situation is, it's not helpful. Scheduling quiet time. Again, we talk about this all the time, quiet time, where your creativity and your capacity for your own insight and your own healing and your own stepping into comes through creativity, which comes through some quiet time. Most of our inspiration comes when we've allowed ourselves a walking, a hike, a walk, sitting in meditation, just musing, just giving ourselves some quiet time. Build a supportive network, use our Sangha, use our deep listening circle. We are women who are willing to hold space for you. So step into that. maintain and have a growth mindset. Expansion is the foremost desire and longing of our spirit. Expansion. This is why we try different things. This is why we keep pushing through, wanting more information, wanting to assess something new, because we want that sense of no boundaries, boundarylessness. Not claiming our power and stepping into our truth is a contraction. It's not an expansion. So naturally, it doesn't feel right. Be curious, keep an open mind, practice self-care. Self-care is the one place where we say, I deserve this, and it is confirming and reaffirming our worthiness. So this week, I want us to use the affirmation, my internal strength is blossoming. And I want us to imagine our strength is our power, our intuition, our knowingness, our wisdom. It's all of those aspects. It's not power in the sense, in the old term, in the old way of using power. It's not that kind of power. It's a different kind of power.